Hey everybody, how we doing? Check it out, I made a table. I didn't show you how I made the table, but you can figure it out. I used to set up my Bora Centipede right here, and I would level out the surface and get it nice and flat. It still had a little movement, but it wasn't too bad. It had a little movement because it's sandy soil that it's sitting on. So I decided to make a table. It's a permanent table. The 2x4 legs are anchored into the ground 2 feet deep. They're not going to move. They're not going to shift. It has hardly any movement. It's stout. It's strong. I've got some holes in here to put in my these bench dog type clamps, dog hole clamps. Come on. There we go. I made the table for a few different reasons. Well, let me back up a step. We have the treated 2x4 legs going into concrete, and it's basically a 2x4 skirt apron wrapped around. It's all pocket holed, so you don't see any screws. The screws are on the inside. There's not even a center support. It's all very solid. On the surface, I have 3/4 inch AC plywood, and just from here to the skirt, just about 2.5 inches or so, I doubled it up, glued it in place. There's no fasteners of any kind. Just clamped it in place and glued it all the way around. So it's got a nice surface. If I need to clamp something to that surface, it's at a comfortable height to put my jigs for assembling furniture. It's also exactly at the same height as my outfeed on my miter saw station, and it's very close to being the same height as my table saw, which is over here. Just there's some uniformity in here, and even my little lawn, it does angle, it slopes a little. So this measurement, I don't even know what that is right offhand. As you stand at it right here, it is in 35 inches. That's not bad at all. I put another piece, just a single, no lip, of the AC plywood, some of the leftover I had. And I figure at times I could put my vacuum under there and hook it up to, if I'm doing pocket hole screws, or if I'm routing something, I could have the vacuum. I could even bring vacuum from overhead and drop it down if I'm doing my big routing configurations. One of the other things I did, I haven't had it too long, but I've already modified it a bit. I made these little doohickeys for ripping full sheets of plywood. This hooks on either side, you can see that. And it's just a piece of dunnage that came with the lumber delivery. So I don't mind if I cut into it, and it just goes like that. It's about, isn't it 4 feet long? I think it's about 4 feet long. It is 4 feet long. So it will support a full sheet of plywood. And then on this side, it just goes in. It could slide around. That's a little snug, and that's okay. But I'm going to bring in, and that's why I'm here right now, this moment. I need to break down a sheet of plywood. So, and if I needed to, and I might need to, sometimes you need a center support. I've got an extra little piece that floats around, and it'll work as a center support. To support the workpiece, you don't want it to cut in the middle and then just crumble. You might want to have something like this, and as you cut it in the middle, it's still supported. So let me bring in that sheet of plywood. I'm not getting any younger. And this is heavy. It's 3/4 inch paint grade birch. Hey, now. So I can rest it on those supports. Where are they? Right about there. And then slide it in. Let me get my track saw. See, everything's still supported. And I can discard this. That one's a little tight, but that's okay. I could just put these out of the way. I'm sure I could find a better place for them. Hello. But what's nice is it's flat, it's level, it's very secure, it's very stout. I put about 5 or 6 coats of the I had some more of this Watco crystal clear lacquer satin finish. I put about 5 or 6 coats on here. Only sanding after maybe the first one, and everything else there was no sanding, and it's a nice finish. So, and I only put a few coats down there, but it'll protect it because there is moisture out here. There is occasionally with my tent, occasionally some angled rain, so this does get wet at times, but it's rather protected. And if it fails in 10 years, it's only pocket hole screws holding it together. I could remove it and replace it without much effort, without interfering with the structure of it. So this has been a recent project of mine, and it's going to be a good addition to my setup. It's very permanent. It's always flat. It's always level. It's actually perfectly level, so that when I make my furniture, I could bring the furniture up here to check for wobbly legs like we have here. I built this thing years ago, but I never actually checked for wobbly legs. It's going to be real handy, and it's a comfortable size for my largest jig that I have, which is for the tall deck chair. So, which makes it also comfortable for all the smaller jigs that I have. Even the Adirondack chair, that's a taller one, but not as wide. It's all going to work really handy for me. If I have accessories or paints or buckets of screws or something, I don't want to leave too many things out here full time. I could put cases of water down there. I could, the vacuum is my first thought. And I think that's a nice place to put the vacuum. I'm even thinking, I've already got it marked out, I'm going to put an electrical receptacle here connected to the light switch. That'll help me plug my fan in. It'll help me plug the vacuum in without having to bring a cord in from the garage. I could just plug them in directly from the same power source that all of that is plugged into. So that'll be convenient also. And that's one of the next things on my list outside of the projects I have going on. So anyway, thanks for checking that out. It's a little thing, but it's a handy thing. And you could see it's set 4 posts, but you have to have an idea how far apart everything's going to be before you do it. Make sure the posts are straight. Make sure everything is square as you set it up. And I dug 4 holes. I set 4 posts in concrete. I kept the posts perfectly aligned. And the posts, they're 2x4s, but I kept them perfectly in line with each other and square with each other. It really worked out well. So hopefully something like this. If you have an outdoor shop, who has an outdoor shop? I bet there's a few of you. I ran out of room inside, so I had to move some things outside, and I'm really glad I did. I don't know if my neighbors are so glad, but anyway, I haven't heard any complaints. If I get complaints, I'll try to make this more permanent with a little more soundproofing or something like that. Anyway, thank you. Appreciate it. See you next time.